Hello guys, you're with Sri Lanka's premier sports hub, www.ThePapare.com. You're with Football 360, and today we'll be talking about the Super 8 contenders in this Dialog Champions League from the two groups, Group A and Group B. First of all, we'll be looking at Group A. It is Army SC who finished on top of Group A with 8 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss with 25 points, scoring 26 goals and just conceding just 5. While Air Force winning 6, drawing 3 and losing 1 match with 21 points. Crystal Palace FC, the surprise package of this tournament, making it to the top 3 of Group A with 5 wins, 4 draws and 1 loss with 19 points, while Renown SC in the last week, winning against Police SC, made it to the top 4, 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses, with 18 points. And we'll be talking about Army SC. They started off again the campaign in quite surprising manner, winning all their first 5 matches, but then they lost against Air Force, a 2-1 loss at the Sugadasa Stadium, and then against Renown SC the next week they drew, but later on they won their last 3 matches and made it to the top 4. While Air Force SC, they started off the campaign with a draw against Crystal Palace. They had a mixed bag in the early going because most of their players were at camp in Trincomalee and they didn't have much time for practices. But towards the end, in their last 5 matches, they won 4 and just drew 1 match, their last match against Nandimitra SC. They could have made it to the first place, but some of their mid-table matches didn't go their way. While Crystal Palace FC from Gampola, nobody thought they could make it to the top 4, but they did. They drew with Air Force their first match, lost to Army, 2 tough matches for them, but the other matches they didn't lose any, just lost 1 match and drew 4, winning 5 matches, while Renown SC, they started off the campaign well with 3 wins. Their mid-table matches against Crystal Palace, Saunders, Solid and Army, they lost against Crystal Palace, while the other matches they drew, but somehow recovered in the last 3 matches, winning 2 of them to make it to the top 4. And now we'll be looking at Group B, where Colombo FC finished atop of Group B with 7 wins, 2 draws and no losses. The only unbeaten team going into the Super 8 rounds. They had 23 points. Blue Star SC, 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses with 17 points. Javelin, 5 wins, also 2 draws and 2 losses with 17 points. And Blue Star making it to the 2nd position on goal difference, a better goal difference. And Navy SC with 5 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses with 16 points. Talking about Colombo FC, coming into the tournament, they were the favorites and they racked up their wins in big fashion, winning against Nigamba Youth 6-0, winning against Tihari Youth 6-1. They had quite a stutter in the 4th and 5th weeks where they drew against New Youngs. They came from 2 goals down in the last 15 minutes to draw against New Youngs, scoring 2 goals, while against Navy, they drew their next week, 1-1. While Colombo FC, they lost Blue Star 2-0, their first match, and Javelin, they drew. And things weren't going their way, and the fans weren't happy, mostly because one of their main players and former captain, Ramesh, had also left the club, and things weren't going their way. But somehow their 1-0 win against Matara City quickly changed, and thereon in, they racked up some big wins against Kalutara Park, their crosstown rivals, a 6-0 win against the next week. It was a final win against Nigamba Youth. They lost only 1 match thereon in, that was against Navy, where most of the match was washed off because of rain, but somehow the last few minutes they played the other day and winning their last match against Tihari Youth 4-0. And Javelin, they drew against Blue Star and Super Sun in the 3rd and 4th weeks, lost against New Youngs 1-0 in the first week, but from fifth week onwards, they lost only against Colombo FC, a 2-0 loss. And they somehow made it to the third place in Group B. While Navy, who everybody thought would be tough contenders in this Group B, somehow wilted in the last two matches, surprisingly, losing to bottom of the table Mathura City, a 1-0 loss away from home, and at home they lost to New Youngs 5-0, which nobody thought. And somehow they were lucky enough to survive in fourth place with New Youngs hot on their tails. So that's it about the top 8 contenders in this Super 8 round of Dialog Champions League 2015. And make sure to join us on www.ThePapare.com, where we'll be bringing all the matches live to your doorstep. This is me, Navod Vijay Vikrama, signing off for ThePapare.com, sharing the passion.